Hello, future attorneys. Welcome back to Federal Civil Procedure. I'm Keith from Last Call Bar Academy, and this portion of the course is Part 1 on Pretrial Procedures. The first topic is the preliminary injunction. A preliminary injunction is a temporary court order issued before or during trial to prevent an irreparable injury from occurring while the case is pending. A federal court may issue a preliminary injunction if two requirements are met. First, the adverse party receives notice and an opportunity to be heard. And second, the court finds that an irreparable injury is likely to occur without the injunction. The court's grant or denial of a preliminary injunction may be appealed immediately without a final judgment. The next topic is the temporary restraining order. A temporary restraining order, or TRO, is a court order issued to prevent an irreparable injury from occurring before the court holds a hearing for a preliminary injunction. A federal court may issue a TRO without prior notice to the adverse party if the court finds that an irreparable injury is likely to occur without the TRO. The court's grant or denial of a TRO is not immediately appealable. When a TRO is granted, it must expire within 14 days, unless the court extends the TRO for good cause. But if the TRO lasts more than 28 days without the adverse party's consent, the TRO becomes a preliminary injunction, which means that it is immediately appealable. Next, we'll discuss the pleadings. The pleadings are the initial documents filed by the parties, outlining their claims and defenses. In federal court, the following pleadings are allowed: a complaint, an answer, and a reply to an answer if ordered by the court. The next topic is the complaint. A complaint is a pleading filed by the plaintiff to start a court case and to outline the plaintiff's claims. In federal court, a complaint must contain three components. First, the grounds for the court's jurisdiction. Second, a short and plain statement of the claim, showing that the plaintiff is entitled to relief. And third, a demand for relief. The next topic is the answer. An answer is a pleading filed by the defendant in response to the complaint. In federal court, a defendant must file an answer within 21 days after service of process, or within 14 days after the court denies the defendant's motion to dismiss. The answer must contain three components. First, a short and plain statement of the defenses to each claim. Second, admissions or denials of the factual allegations made by the plaintiff. And third, any counterclaims asserted by the defendant. The next topic is the amended pleading. An amended pleading is a new pleading that replaces an earlier pleading and includes matters that were not included in the earlier pleading. In federal court, a plaintiff may amend the complaint once as a matter of course within 21 days after service of the answer, or a motion to dismiss, whichever is earlier. Similarly, the defendant may amend the complaint once as a matter of course within 21 days after serving the original answer. The next topic is the supplemental pleading. A supplemental pleading is a new pleading that adds to an earlier pleading but does not replace it. A federal court may allow a party to file a supplemental pleading if it describes a transaction or occurrence that happened after the earlier pleading was filed. The next topic is relation back. Relation back is a doctrine that allows a court to treat an amended pleading as if it were filed at the time of the original pleading. A federal court may allow relation back in three scenarios. First, when the applicable state law would allow relation back in a diversity case. Second, when an amended pleading asserts a new claim that arises out of the same transaction or occurrence described in the original pleading. Or third, when an amended complaint adds a new defendant due to an earlier mistake regarding the proper defendant's identity. Next, we'll discuss representations to the court under Rule 11. Under Federal Rule 11, every pleading or motion must be filed by an attorney or by a party if the party is unrepresented. The person who files the pleading or motion must certify that three requirements are met. First, the filing does not have any improper purpose, such as harassment, delay, or expense. Second, the claims, defenses, and other legal arguments are warranted by existing law or by a non frivolous argument for the establishment of new law. And third, the factual allegations and denials have evidentiary support or will likely have evidentiary support after further investigation or discovery. Next, we'll discuss sanctions under Rule 11. A sanction is a court order that penalizes an attorney or a party for a legal infraction. In federal court, when a filing violates Rule 11, the court may impose a sanction on the attorney or unrepresented party who made the improper filing. But the court may not sanction a represented party for a violation by the party's attorney. The procedure for imposing a sanction depends on whether the court is acting on the court's initiative or a motion for sanction. The next topic is the sanction on the court's initiative under Rule 11. A federal court may impose a monetary sanction on the court's initiative if three requirements are met. First, the court orders the accused person to show cause, which means to explain the challenged filing. Second, the person is given an opportunity to be heard. And third, the court determines that the person violated Rule 11. The next topic is the motion for sanction under Rule 11. A federal court may grant a motion for sanction if four requirements are met. First, the motion was served on the accused person at least 21 days before the motion was filed. Second, the person has not withdrawn or corrected the challenged filing. Third, the person is given an opportunity to be heard. And fourth, the court determines that the person violated Rule 11. Next, we'll discuss joinder of claims. Joinder is the process of joining multiple claims or multiple parties in one case. In federal court, a plaintiff with multiple claims against a defendant may join the claims in one case if the court has subject matter jurisdiction over every claim. This means federal question jurisdiction, diversity jurisdiction, or supplemental jurisdiction. The next topic is the counterclaim. A counterclaim is a claim asserted by a defendant against a plaintiff. In federal court, a counterclaim is compulsory if it arises out of the same transaction or occurrence as the main case. The defendant must assert a compulsory counterclaim, or the claim is lost and cannot be asserted in a later case. Alternatively, a counterclaim is permissive if it is not compulsory. The defendant may assert a permissive counterclaim if the court has subject matter jurisdiction over the counterclaim. This means federal question jurisdiction, diversity jurisdiction, or supplemental jurisdiction. The next topic is the third party claim. A third party claim is a claim asserted by the defendant seeking indemnity or contribution from a third party. In federal court, a defendant may assert a third party claim if the defendant seeks indemnity or contribution from a third party for any damages that the defendant is ordered to pay to the plaintiff. But a third party claim is improper if it attempts to deny liability by shifting it to a new defendant. Any denial of liability must be pled in the answer, not in a third party complaint. The next topic is the required joinder of a party. A federal court must order a non party to be joined as a party if four requirements are met. First, the non party is a required party, which means that hearing the case without the non party would create a risk of unfairness to the non party or the existing parties. Second, the non party is subject to service of process. Third, joining the non party will not deprive the court of subject matter jurisdiction. And fourth, joining the non party will not make venue improper. When a required party cannot be joined, the court must decide whether to hear the case without the required party or dismiss the case. Next, we'll discuss the permissive joinder of parties. In federal court, multiple plaintiffs may join in one case, or multiple defendants may be joined in one case, if the claims meet two requirements. First, the claims arise out of the same transaction or occurrence. And second, the claims involve a similar question of law or fact. The next topic is intervention. Intervention is a procedure that allows a non party to enter a case. A federal court must allow a non party to intervene if hearing the case without the non party would create a risk of unfairness to the non party. Otherwise, the court may allow the non party to intervene if the non party's claim or defense shares a question of law or fact with the main case. The next topic is the cross claim. A cross claim is a claim asserted by a plaintiff against another plaintiff or by a defendant against another defendant. In federal court, a party may assert a cross claim if it arises out of the same transaction or occurrence as the main case. The next topic is the bulge rule, which applies to a third party defendant or a required party. A federal court has personal jurisdiction over a third party defendant or a required party in four circumstances. First, when the court has general jurisdiction. Second, when the court has specific jurisdiction. Third, when the court has transient jurisdiction. Or fourth, under the bulge rule, when the third party defendant or the required party is served with process within 100 miles of the court. The last topic is the class action. A class action is a case in which the court authorizes a party or a small group of parties to represent the interests of a larger class of people. In federal court, when a case involves a party representing an absent class of people, the court must determine as soon as practicable whether to certify the case as a class action. The court's grant or denial of class action certification may be appealed immediately without a final judgment. Thanks for watching Part 1 of Pretrial Procedures. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content.